Ta-da! Okay. Welcome to the Fuzzy Whatsit Show. Today we have on the show a very exciting guest, Dash Dauntless.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me, Fuzzy. I'm excited to be here. Do you know much about wrestling, Fuzzy?
Wrestling? Not at all, no.
Oh, I don't know as much as you'd think I know either. I like to call myself a wrestling illiterate wrestler.
Oh. How did you get involved in wrestling in the first place?
Yeah, so it's a long story. My brothers loved wrestling. I imagine there's a few of you guys out there nodding along. Yeah, your brothers made you watch wrestling when you were growing up too, or you were the brother. So they loved it. I tolerated it. I don't know if you know, but usually there's not much in the middle for wrestling. It's either you love it or you can't stand it, and there's nobody in the middle, but I was in the middle. And then I started dating a guy, and he loved wrestling too, and I tolerated it. But when we started going to VIPW, Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling shows, and seeing it live in front of you, Fuzzy, it's like nothing else. It's so fun. And so I just fell in love with BJ Laredo and Rhea Von Slasher and all the Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling, just like greats right in front of me. And then eventually they started a school, and my partner really wanted to try it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get jealous. I gotta try it. So we both signed up, and that's pretty much, yeah. I didn't know much about it. I still don't know all of the lingo. I'm not as good as everybody, but I love practicing. I love training, and I just love doing it. So I just kept going.
Awesome. You're fighting people on a daily basis, is what I understand.
Yeah. We get in the ring, and I'll take on any challengers. I gotta be fast though. A lot of them are bigger than me, so I have to be fast. Yeah, fast, fearless, determined. Dash Dauntless. It's in the name. It's all in the name.
You're the first wrestler I've ever had on the show. What does that entail? Like you walk out into a bunch of people and go, "Hey, I'm going to fight you," and then you just body slam people and like you call your mother's bad names and stuff like that. Like, well,
not me.
Not you.
No.
Okay.
Parents love me. Yeah, so something like that, Fuzzy. So it depends on the match.
Oh.
So generally, you know, we have our general manager, and we have owners of the company. So they will often set up contracts for these fights. So it's going to be depending on what's going on. So sometimes, you know, I might be having a match and this other guy comes out and interferes, and they get in the way, and then that's a good setup, you know. I have an issue with them now, and I might go talk to our general manager and say, this guy, we've got an issue. I need to sort this out. And they'll get that on the books, and they'll book that for the next show. And then the fans get to see the conclusion of that interference and those dastardly actions by that other wrestler. So that's one way that might happen, is there might be some ongoing conflict, and we have to sort it out. Sometimes people just show up and drop the mic and say, I'm ready for a fight, and somebody comes out, and that's always an adventure. You never know what you're going to get there when it's an open call. But yeah, we get the matches set up. When it's actually happening, they cue our music. We come out. Personally, I pop the suspenders for the crowd, for the kids. Yeah, I pop the suspenders a lot when I come out. That lets everybody know what I'm here to do. Suspend your disbelief, and then we get into it. Yeah.
Do you have any cool finishing moves, or?
Yeah, so I'm working on a few. In general, I've got a lot of kind of kicks up my pants sleeve, I suppose you'd say. So I'm a bit of a kicker. I've got some long kicky legs, but I've got a few other things I do like to pull out, a few other tricks and stuff like that. So what I like to call, it's probably my signature. I don't know if it's a finisher yet, but I call it dashed on the rocks. It is existing wrestling fans will know it better by its previous name of the Stratosphere. Oh. So sometimes my opponent, usually when they've been talking to the crowd, talking trash, they're up in the corner, And I usually kick them first to get their attention because they're not paying attention to me. So I'll jump up on the ropes and I'll kick them to get their attention. I'll turn them around so they're sitting in that corner, usually a little stunned because I kick them pretty hard. I go and I run in and I do a big handstand using the ropes. And I grab their head with my feet upside down and I fling them across. I fling them across the ring. I land down on my knees, upright, pop the suspender, and I go for the pin. They're sitting up there minding their own business. Boom, they get hit. They sit down. Suddenly they're somersaulting through the air. They don't know what hit them. They got dashed on the rocks.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of my big kind of signature moves, I like to say. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite wrestlers that you follow?
Well, it's a cliche, but Rhea Von Slasher. She's my number one. So she's a local wrestler. She's been with VIPW since the very beginning, and she just, when I was going to those live shows, she would take on any comer. She would just thrash the guys, thrash the girls. She was the top in my mind, and she still is.
My elementary school teacher said it's not good to thrash on people.
Well, I think there's context. I think it's context dependent. Yeah, I think in the ring is the right place. Fully trained, professional in the ring.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, contract signed. Everybody agreed to be there. Everybody knew what they were signing up for.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We're not just throwing down in the hallway. It's not just,
Right.
It's not random. We're not trying this at home.
Keep your disputes in the ring.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get into professional wrestling, you said there was like classes and things?
Yeah, so Fuzzy, if you want to get into the ring, if you want to wrestle, if you want to be a ref, if you want to just to help out in some manner, maybe manage somebody, be on the outside, we have the VIPW Training Center. So Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling, right here in Nanaimo, we have our very own pro wrestling training center. So that's run by BJ Laredo, one of the co-owners and co-founders of VIPW. And it is great. We have classes at least 2 times a week, about 2 hours at a time. It's really, really hard work, but it's really rewarding. Yeah.
That's
I encourage you to
amazing.
check it out if you're interested. And all of you guys, check it out. I'd like to see you in the ring too.
That's your invitation, folks.
So my name is Dash Dauntless. Thank you again so much for having me. This is the Fuzzy Whatsit Show. You guys have been amazing. You've been amazing, Fuzzy Whatsit. So I am, again, Dash Dauntless, professional wrestler at Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling, trained by BJ Laredo and Rhea Von Slasher at the VIPW Training Center, and one half of the tag team Suspender Disbelief with Garth, Wayne, and Dash Dauntless.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, yes. All right, we'll see everybody next time.